First of all, I wanted to say huge thanks to everybody that made it out to the Plymouth Holiday Market. Wonderful seeing everybody. I know that it was hectic and crazy. So if you didn't have a chance to stop by and say hi, then I'm glad that you made it out, even though I know that it was super crazy. But one of the things that came up is a lot of people were asking me about Guinness tap handles. And I've got a little bit of good news, a little bit of bad news, but I will kind of cover the tap handles a little bit so you've got a sense for what's out there. The good news is that there's a bunch of cool tap handles, and I'll be able to give you guys a run through of a few of the kind of core tap handles for Guinness. The bad news is that for my products, I'm almost out of Guinness tap handles because I need to start producing a new item to do an adapter for them. So, bad news is that I won't have a lot of these available for umbrellas or for anything like that because I need to do a new adapter. Good news is I can give you a run through of the core styles. So there's a couple of core styles of the Guinness tap handles, and I'll start with one of the more classic ones, one of the ones that's a little bit of an older style, and that's what I typically will refer to as the Guinness pub style. So that's this one right here. Absolutely love this tap handle, super fantastic. It's got this kind of like heavy brass bottom section to it down here. This upper section is like a cast plastic, so it is relatively durable overall. You do still need to be a little bit careful. I've seen a couple of things that can become damaged. So this actually can get damaged over here, this section that comes out, and you do want to make sure that this is properly attached. But super, super lovely tap handle. It's got this little finale here, the brass area, and this section comes out with that Guinness label there. Just absolutely great tap handle. One of the things to note with this is there's a couple variations on it. This one is a slightly longer brass area. There's a shorter one as well that's out on the market. Then we've got this one, and these two are ones that if you would go to a normal bar, these are ones that you'll see a lot, especially your traditional Irish pubs, places that have Guinness on tap. And you've got two different ones. This one I typically will refer to as the St. James version. So this one, you do have a taller and a shorter version of it. This one is the taller one. This one, and I believe all three of these ones are produced by Kirschland Ceramics. And it's got the harp up top. It's got this nice kind of shape here, and it says, let me see here. Oh, there we are. St. James Gate, Dublin. Super cool tap handle. If you flip it over, you'll see the back section there. It says Guinness. And this one will typically have this silver colored attachment here. This one, I believe, is made out of ceramic. See, we've got a little bit of wear up there. But this one is, I believe, ceramic. Sometimes you'll see some light cracking on it, but a lot of times it'll still be fine. And same thing for this one. For this one is their one of their other ceramic ones. You'll notice over on the side, it kind of curves and comes up a little bit. In this particular example, you'll notice a little bit of cracking here. If you see cracking like that, then I typically wouldn't pick them up. But sometimes you can see some cracking on the paint. So if you look at the top here, don't know if we can see any in this example, but sometimes you'll see a little bit of cracking or what looks like cracking on the paint up there. That is totally fine. I've had ones in my collections before like that will totally hold up. You don't have to worry about it, but you do want to keep an eye out for any cracks like that. And then this one typically would have the similar connector here. However, you're seeing that you're missing it there. If that's ever not there, it's going to be super hard to replace with the proper one. Occasionally you can find a regular ferrule that you can use as a replacement that'll screw on there, but even these are super hard to find in the right threading. It's not the standard one, to give you a little bit of context. And then this last one is what I typically will refer to as the perfect pour. And the reason for that is that you've got this Guinness up here, says St. James here, you got Guinness on the bottom. But if we flip it over to see the back, you'll see it has instructions on how to do the perfect pour. So that is how you should always be pouring a Guinness. And it gives you the directions. So if you were at a pub, you'd see the front section and the bartender would have this facing them. So super, super cool tap handle. This is a relatively recent tap handle that they released. And one of the things that's worth noting is that with all three of these, and kind of this one as well, like I mentioned, you'll have the short one. You do have tall and short versions of them. All ones that I'm showing here are all the tall versions of these tap handles. But as I mentioned, the kind of bad news is that I need to start producing a new adapter for these so that you can actually properly put it on display or use it with the other adapters that I do. So you still can find these ones if you're hunting around. I won't have many left on my shop until I'm able to start producing that adapter. And another side note as well is that if you go through my past videos, you'll also see some of the other Guinness tap handles. I've got a couple of super cool variants there. One that's a really, really cool vintage one, if you want to check out that video. And then I also have a video of a one that I believe was a Australian release of their tap handle. So pretty cool.